Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing an end of month flip slash discussion on my Louis Vuitton GM slash A5 agenda. So as you all know, if you've been following me for a bit, my A5 agenda was always my main agenda. I love the A5 size. I went from a 7, what's an Erin Condren? Like a 7x9. I switched to A5 at one point. I've tried different sizes, but I always felt like I needed the bigger inserts until I learned how to like adapt smaller inserts to my writing style. And then I've honestly been preferring a smaller insert. It's a process, but I feel like ever since I switched to my personal size and then A6, I feel like A5 has just been very like too big, but at the same time, I kind of need it for, or I like it for certain inserts. And so this planner I think has changed the absolute most when it comes to how I'm using it because of that change. And I'm still figuring out essentially what I want to do with this planner, which is why I said this is a flip slash discussion. So yeah, let's go ahead and we will just jump right in. So I have these dashboards from Infinite Loaded, or these are dashboards are from Cloth and Paper. I love them. I got them for my A6 and knew it would just look so great in my GM and slash Louis Vuitton planner, so I got it for here, and I love them. They're also just so thin, and I love being able to save size. This is a dashboard from the Infinite Lotus sub box, the most recent box. I absolutely love it. I think it's so pretty. It's from the Lulu, I think is how you pronounce it correctly. And then the June Intentions card also goes with it, but I just love how that also pairs with the dashboard, and it kind of goes with like the theme and the aesthetic, right? So we have that. And then this is the part where I'm going back and forth. So for the month, I've had these weekly schedule inserts in my agenda. So this is what comes with them. And so here's May. And I've had my calendar. So this was just kind of like where I've been putting like tentative plans. I was experimenting with like my page flags, and I really like it. And just keeping it kind of simple. And then I took these inserts, which I don't know, I like them, but then they can become a lot, but then I like them again when things aren't a lot. And so this is where I'm going back and forth. But I love the style overall. I'm not a vertical person. If it is, it's because if I do choose vertical inserts, I think the closest thing I get to liking vertical is the style that I have in my A6, which is these, because they're thicker and they're more of like a box, right? And so y'all have seen me use different variations from different shops, different planners of this. This is the only vertical I feel like I can do. Narrow in general does not work for me, but narrow vertical definitely, I don't know what it is. I can't do it. And so when I got these, I really wanted to try them because I've seen them on Instagram. I really wanted to get them. I don't know what it was, but like, I just felt like it was too much. And so I was like, well, what if I make the box system so that way I have different categories? And this has been working well when I do use these inserts. And so it worked extremely well when I had a lot going on. And so I don't know if it's just me or how my system's been updating and being adjusted. I have decided, because I stopped using these, I think this past week. Yeah. So see where I didn't really use it, and you can tell where like I kind of stopped using it, right? Especially like the beginning of the week is when, you know, you kind of reset for the week. So everything goes in here. And then, you know, as the week progresses, that's generally where I see, okay, well, maybe I'm not using it, or this isn't working well for me, or I might just have a different system in place that's working better, right? And ultimately right now that's what's going on. I've just been gravitating towards like a different agenda. So I think just my schedule, and I just have been writing things down. Because also during the weekend, if I'm not working on schoolwork, I'm not in my planner because I'm doing something. So that's also something that I keep in mind. Like, is it blank because I'm not using it, it's not working, or is it blank because I just wasn't in my planner? For the most part, it's because I haven't been in my planner. But I do think I want to keep these in here. I think as long as I keep the categories relevant, it'll help. The only thing is that while I do like them overall, if I continue to keep these in my agenda, then I have 2 hourlies that are essentially the same. And so I said that this was going to be my main schedule in my personal. And as you can see, it's single hours. Usually if I have 2 hourlies, it's because one's a half hour, or I'm using them for different reasons. And so this is what I've been using for just like time blocking. And so I don't know if maybe to keep them I'm trying to find the right words for this. For them to have their own distinct purpose. I want to find a different way to use these. So I might, if you saw this video, keep this just general with like, okay, this is meetings, this is a time block. Again, really using this as a time block, and then maybe using this for more, especially since I have the grid, detailed information would probably be the best way to phrase it. So that way, like if I have errands here, right? Like I just write in errands, I'll actually list it in here where it's less relevant. So this will be the actual schedule. And then this will just be essentially specifics as well as details. And based off of whatever I need, because there might be days where I need this and there might be days where I need that. And that's something that I did learn when I was using the hourly. And then I think that's also too why I stopped using certain planners, because I am very visual, and so sometimes I might get overwhelmed, like with this view, if there's too much in the list and I just need to see, okay, this, like I see the blanks, right? And that's why I like hourly so much. Sometimes I need to see the blanks, sometimes I don't. And so I think that might be the best way to like use both of these together. But this is going to be a work in progress. And again, this is the discussion part. This is everything that I'm thinking just out loud. And so that's ultimately where my brain is at with these inserts. So it's really just trying to find a way to like essentially make them work in my system / make them work for me. I'm also not afraid to just not use the bottom if I'm really loving and using the top. However, I feel like I can still use these. So for now, we're going to keep these in here and just continue to use them and find a way to use them, because I think ultimately they just need to have a distinct purpose, and then I'll feel better with using them. But I do like having them in here. So we have that. And then I have the next month in here, and then maybe July too. No, just May and June, so 2 months. And then the month of July. So that way I can pre-plan if needed. So that is those. And then with the Infinite Lotus sub box, I have these 1 line a day inserts that came with them. And I'm thinking of using these as like a monthly overview, just because it's nice to have like a nice view, or a nice like, hey, this is everything going on. I love that there's like 2 lines essentially. The purpose of these is supposed to be for quotes, did confirm that. So you can like write out like a phrase or a saying a day. However, I'm going to use them more functionally because I don't want to do that with these. And I like the idea of having these as a like monthly overview. So that's how I'm going to use them personally. I might move these to the front too, because I feel like that would make more sense. But I just have a few in here. Actually, I have a lot in here. I need to take some of these out. And then we got the June vellum from the box, and then these 100-day challenges. I'm actually going to be using this for working out, I believe. So I need to figure out what I'm doing, but I think I might track just like how frequently I'm working out. I don't know, I haven't fully decided, but that's how I intend to use those. I just need to figure out where I need to put them to, but for now they're just in here. Yeah, I really need to take some of these 1 line a days out. That's a lot. But yeah, that is essentially the schedule section. The next section is the most used section in this planner. So this is my academic section. So this hasn't changed if y'all have seen it. Once you've seen it a million times. The only thing new that I did this month was print out notes from my dissertation. Because I have like a doc that I sent to my chair to review once I finished my study. So these are all the notes from my study, and then kind of like the high level premise of like my entire dissertation that I'm referencing while I'm writing. But everything else y'all have seen, it's just all my general notes, different project inserts that I have, essentially like guidance on like what to write and when with the chapters, and yeah, everything again y'all have seen before. So I use this when I'm working on my dissertation, and then I like having it to reference and to like continue to write notes. And then as things pop up, since I'm in the final chapter, a thought might come in and I'll be able to write them down in here and ensure that I also capture all the different insights and things that I have. So I'm, y'all know, paper person, so this really helps. It's nice because I still have digital notes, and so I can use those if I need it, or if I'm just trying to quickly search something. But for the most part, again, because I'm visual, this really helps me with like knowing, hey, I have this. And then I also just love writing things down because it helps me remember it, and then I can typically go in and find like what's going on. So this is my academic section. And then again, y'all have seen this, but nothing's really changed on this side. It's mainly the schedule section. I just have my notes, like a note section in here. And so what is this? Oh, this is where I was writing down notes literally for my dissertation. So it's just like quick scratch inserts. And so what I actually might do is I might move maybe like the one line stay back here. And then I can still have my notes in the back, but I might move that around so that way not everything's like all in here. And then I can keep like the main inserts that I'm using up front. Or I could just move this to the back. I don't know, we'll see. This is the flip for May, where we're currently at and kind of what's going on. Again, I like it. I don't have a, I think, and you probably heard like the running theme is I just don't have a distinct purpose aside from the academic inserts in this planner. This has been my project planner. It's been my academic / project planner. Right now it's definitely more of like a we're figuring out what to do planner. I've also been thinking of making it somewhat of my work planner. So initially when I bought these inserts, it was potentially to use for personal, but also potentially to use for work. So if I do use this for work, then it could be a little bit, I find it might be a little bit more beneficial. But again, that's all up in the air. For now, we're just honestly just using them whenever I need them, and that's nice, right? Like for me, as long as they serve a purpose and it's helping me plan, if I switch up how I use things every single week, which is likely, as you all know, then I'm ultimately happy because it's helped me, like it's doing what it needs to do, right? So if I want to use these for work one week, then I might just use them for work, try it out, see how that works. If not, if I want to continue to use them for a mix of things, I'll do that. But for the most part, I don't know, I feel like it's been really helpful to just kind of just use them, especially since they're so general, right? Like I feel like you can use these for anything. And so experimenting with like using it just for one function or one purpose has also been helpful, because then I can eliminate, okay, well, I might not like these specifically for work. I might, you know, prefer another system, right? Like I know for sure, like with my hourly, I don't want these to be the schedule. I know I prefer that May paper co view. However, I could use these for a little bit more granular details, and that will probably work out a little bit better. So different things like that. But yeah, other than that, that is going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching.